Hi there. ET Now did an interview with the new CII President, who's also the MD and CEO of Tata Steel, TV Narendran. TV Narendran is taking over the CII at a time when India is recovering from the second wave of coronavirus. So the big question was, what can industry do for its bit to bring the economy back on track? What the new CII President has said is at most it will need to step up on vaccination. That's going to have to be done by the government and, of course, by industry also needing to play a big role. Secondly, industry will want to piggyback on the government's initiatives and announcements that were announced in union budget, saying all that had been announced for increasing expenditure, infrastructure, all of that. The industry will want to ideally piggyback on it. But the big headline is that the CII, the industry chamber, has proposed to the government to announce a 3 lakh crore rupee fiscal stimulus package. But TV Narendran saying that the tax collections have actually been stronger than had been originally envisaged, that you have a surplus from the RBI as well, which should give an elbow room. And with all of that, a 3 lakh crore rupee stimulus package is indeed needed to handhold MSMEs, travel companies, hospitality companies, retail companies, which have been hit so hard. That this can go a long way in bringing the economic activity back to the same momentum we were seeing in the October-November period months of last fiscal. Remember that famous V-shaped recovery. So that's the big recommendation that has come in from the CII to the government, being convinced that the elbow room actually exists for it. Now, the big difference also between 2020 and 2021 is inflation that we are seeing in this year. And that is why the CII is convinced more than ever you need an economic stimulus package, a fiscal stimulus package. Because of inflation, the RBI's monetary tools in that sense are limited. And therefore, it's going to have to rely on the fiscal package that the government can provide. Now, no one better than TV Narendran to talk about asset class appreciation, particularly the wild swings that you're seeing in steel prices and as well as prices for metals. What's the solution for that? TV Narendran saying the most important thing is you can't help the global cues that exist, the global prices that exist, and how these prices are also being impacted with countries like China and Japan wanting to cut down on exports thanks to the carbon footprint. So that's that global trade impact that is being seen on prices. The best solution for it is to become Atmanirbhar, a country which, like India, which is rich on iron ore, etc., should be ramping up production. And in fact, it gives a silver lining that the advantage of having higher prices for these commodities also means that you could trigger investments. Oil prices on the boil is never good news for the Indian economy, given our import bill and all of that. And the CII suggestion to the government on that front is to relook the taxes on fuels, particularly those levies which had been increased during the low price regime of crude oil. So certainly, a lot from the CII as far as recommendations to the government goes. Commodity prices, of course, could be a sore point. MSMEs are struggling to finish their contracts and honor their contracts. Most of them are based on fixed price. So that's the other big suggestion coming in from the CII, to look at new kind of contracts, new modeling of contracts, so that it mitigates the risk from price fluctuations, which would also then mean that if prices go down, the companies would have to see that being reflected as well. It just can't work when the prices are going up.